Can you give me a thumbs up if you can hear me clearly? Give me a thumbs up if you can hear me clearly. We're going to get started shortly. I just need to know if you guys can hear me clearly. Go ahead and share this video. We're going to get started shortly. Go ahead and share this video. Give me a thumbs up if you can hear me clearly. If you can hear me, give me a thumbs up. Ms. Lee, what's going on? Thanks for chiming in. Can you guys hear me? Give me a thumbs up if you can hear me. Thank you, Joy. All right, so we're gonna get started in a few minutes. For those, again, like I always do, if this is your first time listening to one of our lives, we try to do a live every Sunday. Normally we do it at 3 o'clock on Sundays, but I'm trying something different. Doing it a little later at this time, 7 o'clock. So Sundays is normally our training days where we just talking strictly business. We educate you guys on crowdfunding, investments, and just keep you guys up to date in this space of capital raising and crowdfunding and business and startups. Wednesday nights is our Crowd Wall Street Entrepreneurs, where we're actually interviewing entrepreneurs and just having conversations, things that's not really talked about. A lot of times, we see successful stories with, individuals, making, success far as, starting a business or accomplishing something with a business or real estate or whatever the case may be. It's inspiring, right? But a lot of times people don't see the headaches, the stress, the obstacles that many have faced to get to that next level of success. And that's pretty much what our conversations are about. So you can see the other side of entrepreneurship. It ain't always peaches and creams. There's a lot of work behind it. And so that goes on Wednesday nights, and then we do our trainings and business talks on Sundays. If you missed it, you can always join our group. Some of you are already in this group, some of you not, but The group is called WallStreet Group. You can find us on Facebook. Also, we have a YouTube channel. So you can go in on YouTube and just type in WallStreet Entrepreneurs. Subscribe to the YouTube channel because we will be uploading videos almost every week. And that way you can catch the lives that you missed for the past couple of weeks. Next week will be our 7th podcast interview. And it's been going great. For those this your first time chiming in, first time listening to me speak, first time hearing about WallStreet, just briefly, WallStreet is a crowdfunding platform for minorities and Black founders. What we do is we help Black entrepreneurs and Black founders raise capital for their company through the crowd, similar to what you have seen like GoFundMe, where people use GoFundMe to raise money for funeral expenses or particular causes. What these individuals do is create some form of campaign. They post it and then they share it on Facebook, and then they ask help from what they call the crowd. So these individuals contribute, $1, $2, $50, or whatever that amount may be to help that particular cause. So we have the same business model, but more centered around minorities and Black businesses, where now we're able to practice group economics and have individual businesses come on our platform to raise capital to either start their business or grow their business. And right now we just launched our rewards base, which is back in August. And then we did a training on that. I'll maybe do another training again for YouTube. We kind of explained the reward-based model similar to like Kickstarter. We have that going. We anticipate in the first quarter of 2021, upon getting approved with the SEC, we will be launching our equity base, where now our investors will have an opportunity to invest in startups or invest in small businesses for a piece of equity of their company. And also we'll be having real estate opportunities where now you can, participate in real estate deals. So you may not have $20,000 to $30,000 or may not have lines of credits to start getting into real estate. But now with crowdfunding, you can invest little as $100 to $200 to get in some equity deals, some real estate deals. And these are the type of opportunities that our platform will be offering. Outside of that, we will be launching WallStreet University 2.0. And with that 2.0, we actually going to really dig deep and educate you guys on startups, on raising capital, understanding what a seed investment is, understand what an angel investors is, what a Series B, Series C, Regulation D, what a PPM is, what a spec is. These are conversations that not really been had in our community, especially in the Black culture. We don't know nothing about that. And this is where the opportunities are made. This is where people are making millions of dollars at. And through crowdfunding is how we can get to that next level. So, we will be working on that. We're working on a lot of materials on the back end to help create, opportunities not only for our Black businesses, but also for investors and entrepreneurs and things of that nature. So again, make sure you share this video. I appreciate those that's on here. Joy already told me you can hear me clearly. So today, I just came up with a title, to be honest. I didn't know what to title this. But today's title, what we're going to talk about is why are you starting a business? And the reason I was kind of fondling with the title, because a lot of times when we want to start businesses, a lot of times we talk about, we want to start a business to make money. We want to start a business because I don't want to work a job. I want to do my own thing. I want to create generational wealth. And all of that sounds good. And don't get me wrong, we all should have those particular goals in mind. But my perspective when it comes to that also includes far as business structure. Like this training is going to be a 2-part training. What I'm explaining today going to lead up to part 2 next week, Sunday, on why I'm setting the foundation today, because I think for the most part, it's very important to understand what I'm about to teach you guys today. It's not sexy. It's not, all the hop, hoop, and, fame. But at the end of the day, I'm a realist, and I study this stuff. This is what I do when it comes to business. And it's my duty, my obligation to educate you guys so you can have the head knowledge to understand business. And right now, this is like really the ground level understanding of business. And as the weeks go forward, I'm going to start teaching you guys on a whole nother level when it comes to business. I mean, a lot of us just, and you will see in this trend, a lot of us just only know the basics. We just know, hey, I'm going to register my business, get an LLC, get my EIN number, and I'm going to sell some products, and I'm in business. And it's like, it's a lot that goes in it. It's a lot that goes in, and that's really what my job is, to open up your minds to other things. It's not a one fit all type knowledge type deal, but it opens up your mind to think differently when it comes to business. And so I'm gonna go ahead and get started. I have a PowerPoint. So in my group, the Crowd Wall Street group, I asked, we did a poll to see what works. A lot of people like, seeing physically me moving, hands moving. A lot of people like to see PowerPoints to actually read and have some type of interaction going on. And so what I'm doing today is I'm going to do both. I'm going to actually, you're going to see me a little bit, and you're going to actually see a PowerPoint that I'm going to go over, where you can actually follow along with the things that I'm going to be talking about. Now, I tried to do this last time, and I went through the whole presentation, and the presentation showed up because I have this new thing that I'm working on called Restream. That's what I'm using now, and I'm still learning it, and I think I got it. But yeah. So if you don't see the presentation I'm talking, let me know, please. But I think I got it. So we're going to go ahead and get started. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. Okay. All right. I'm on 2 pages. I'm on the group, and I'm on my personal. So if I don't see your comment fast enough, I'm on my phone as well, so I could be checking. But talking about Katiana, she said there's a book titled Start With Why. Okay, I'll check that out. But this is going to be different. A lot of people start with a why, with their passion, and why this and why that. But this why that I'm going to talk about is strictly business based, because I believe once I go over this and you have an idea on what type of business you have, it will better prepare you on what part 2 is, which is my exit strategy. And that's what part 2 is going to be about, my exit strategy. So for you to understand your exit strategy, you have to know what type of business structure you're in, what type of business structure you want to get into. And that's really what I'm going to explain today. So let's get this going. I think I got it. Boom. All right. So let me know if you guys can see the PowerPoint before I move forward. Just give me a thumbs up if you can see the PowerPoint. All right, great. Appreciate it, Katiana. All right, so here we go. Crowd Wall Street. Why are you starting business? Again, this is a different perspective. It's not what you think it is. It's not no motivational speak or none of that stuff. So let's get going. So here it is, your why. Why do people start businesses? So there are 5 categories that I summed it up on why people start businesses. And going through these 5 categories, you may not even realize it yourself that you fall in one of these categories. The first one is a lifestyle business, and I'm gonna go over every last one of them in this presentation. So the first one is lifestyle business. The second one is a social business. The third one is being a small business owner, which most of us are familiar with. If we're not familiar with anything else, we're familiar with being a small business owner. The fourth one, scalable business. And then the last one, acquisitions. So I summed up 5 different categories that your business can fall on. And this is very vital of understanding these things, because once you understand what lane you are in, it will help you to monetize your business model, because you know basically where your business is built upon. And again, knowing this, you will know exactly how to structure your business. You will know where to find funding for your business. You will know how to manage your business, the type of lifestyle or the type of management that your business need. Once you understand all this, it'll pretty much help you understand how to manage your company. So the first one, lifestyle business. So a lifestyle business exists to fund and support your lifestyle. Typically, lifestyle businesses can be started with little to no money, and in most cases, there are no other shareholders. So you notice I got the weight, right? So these are examples of what's considered lifestyle businesses. You have writers, you have bloggers, you have journalists, you have gym trainers, and we see them all the time, you know, on Facebook working out, consulting, coaches, e-commerce businesses, photography, even Katiana, she's in, you know, day trading. That's considered a lifestyle business, right? So all of these, you may not notice this now, but a lot of you guys are doing this and not realizing that you are in a lifestyle business, right? So when it comes to lifestyle businesses, real quick, you know, a lifestyle business are solely based on the owner's personal interest or passion. So, for example, you know, what's real popular now is you see individuals working out. You know, they either training at the gym or they at parks, you know, their backyard, whatever the case may be. But a lot of times that when you see these individuals, they don't really think of it being a lifestyle business, because most of these people that's working out in gyms and that's training people, this is something they're already doing. This is their lifestyle. Again, it makes sense. Lifestyle business. You know, if I'm already in the gym, I'm already working out, I'm taking my nutrients, I'm drinking my protein shake, I'm hydrating, I'm eating healthy. If I'm already doing that, and this is my daily routine, only thing I did was make a business out of it. Where to the point where I don't really have to change my lifestyle. I don't really have to alter my schedule because it fits in with something I'm already doing. That is the whole concept of the lifestyle business. So the purpose of sustaining a particular level of income and nothing more. Because what? I'm doing what I enjoy doing. I'm already working out. Why not get paid for it? So I'm not looking to scale my company. I'm not looking to make $1 million, even though if I do make $1 million, that's a plus. But I just love doing what I do and I make money for it to create a lifestyle business. This requires less investment than a startup. Again, just using the gym, for example, working out, you really don't have to come out the pocket for anything. You can find you a park with some space, get you a couple of clients, you making profits day one. So don't really, you know, need that much capital to start, you know, a lifestyle business, because this is something you're doing at your leisure. These are things that sometimes what we call hobbies. You know, you might have people who write for a hobby. They love writing. And then what they do is they take that and turn it into a lifestyle business. Now they do blogging and they get paid for it. Does it change their lifestyle? No, because they're already doing it. And no matter where they are in the world, they can always pop their computer and write a blog and get paid for it. So with lifestyle business, is little or no growth opportunities or upside. That's not the goal. That's not the plan. It's just, hey, I might well get paid or doing something I enjoy doing, which is talking about personal interest or passion. So that's lifestyle businesses, right? And this is going to all make sense on part 2 next week when I talk about exit strategy. So the next one you have what's called social business. Social businesses are created and designed to address a social problem. This can be issues such as poverty, education, health, technology access, or the environment. Now, when you hear this, the first thing you're thinking about is a nonprofit. And what I need you guys to understand is you don't have to be a nonprofit to address social problems. You don't. It could be a nonprofit or it could be a for-profit business. So here are some examples of, social business examples. So you have the healthcare and medical field. A lot of these companies that offer healthcare and medical, they not all nonprofits. These are for-profit business, but they have a cause, and that cause is in the health industry, providing affordable, Medicare supplements or just supplements, period, medication, pharmacy, things of that nature to help those individuals who can't really afford healthcare or any medical needs, even when it comes to, the wheelchairs and things of that nature. So next we have public housing, we have nutrition, we have education, we have financial services. Now, when I talk about financial service, when it comes to social businesses, we're talking about providing the poor population with access to funds, goods, and services. So this is a social cause. So when you're talking about social business, like Katian said, her business is a social business, but it's for profit. Again, it don't have to be a nonprofit. So understanding when you have a social businesses, this is what your business fall under. And again, this can all make sense for part 2. So if you're taking notes, take notes. So this is what sums up what a social business is. So again, the social business's primary aim is to address a social problem. It's a balance between social objective and financial goals, right? It could be a nonprofit or for-profit business. So a lot of times, when you're talking about where it says a balance between social objectives and financial goals, a lot of times one of the main focus of a social business is when they receive profits, their primary goal is to reinvest back into the business to help further the social cause that they're pursuing or solving that social problem. So these funds that they're receiving is kind of help pushing the objective to solve whatever that problem, that social problem that they're trying to solve. It's not primarily trying to obtain a profit to take home and go on vacation, whatever the case may be. That's somewhat secondary, but the primary is reinvesting those funds to help further the cause, whatever cause it is that they're trying to solve. So that's what social businesses are. The next one, which we all familiar with when it comes to small business. So a small business owner is the owner of a business that's considered small in terms of its workforce, sales volume, or organizational structure. A lot of times we say small business owner, and sometimes we just call it a startup. And then there's a lot of speculation that goes on in the media with what identifies a small business owner, what identifies a startup, and there's so many definitions that goes around. But nonetheless, I'm gonna give you mine. So these are some examples of small businesses, small business owners. So a small business owner can be a sole proprietor or a owner of a small corporation. It can also be a home-based business and must earn less than 7 million in annual revenues. So in the spectrum of things, if your company is making less than 7 million, you are considered a small business owner. You are considered, still a startup. So even though your company may be making, 7 figures a year, in some people's eyes, you are still considered a small business, or you are still considered a startup. The SBA defines a small business as an enterprise with fewer than 500 employees. So you could be making 6 figures, but have only, 20 employees and still consider a small business. And so these are the definitions that goes around, when it comes to identifying small business owners and startups. So digging deep into the small business space, these are the two things where that's running rampant, especially in the Black communities, right? You have what's called the mom and pop shops, and then you have what's called the sole proprietorships. And basically, I'm gonna explain both of them because uh, you look at statistics, especially in the Black communities, over 90% of Black businesses are sole proprietorships. Um, the community is built around mom and pop shops. Far as mom and pop shops, excuse me, there's really nothing wrong with them because, as you will see when I explain, they're really the backbone of the community. You know, the name mom and pop shops came from, you know, back in the days where, you know, a family or more so a mother and a father had a storefront where they sell, like, you know, food, groceries, or pharmacy products and things of that nature for the neighborhood. And that's pretty much how the mom and pop title came about. So when you see a lot of these businesses in the communities where, and you, to be honest, you rarely see them in the Black community because it's pretty much occupied by Asians, Arabs, and Chinese now. But back then, you know, our mom and pops, our grandmas, these were the ones that was occupying these spaces in our communities that was selling, you know, cookies and cakes and potato pies and, you know, things to that nature. Um, so I'm gonna go ahead and explain both of them so you can get the understanding of it. So mom and pops are described as local family-owned businesses. So this could be small restaurants, bookstores, repair shops, or even insurance agencies. There are small insurance agencies that's family-owned. The disadvantage to large corporations and e-commerce sites because they don't have the funding or the capacity to compete with larger corporations. And to be honest, looking at a mom and pop shop, they're not designed to compete with large corporations. Mom and pop shops is designed to actually help contribute, which is my fourth point, to the communities. So, you know, it benefits from local consumers who can pump their money into their communities to promote local economic growth. And the problem with the Black community today is there's not that many mom and pop shops in our communities. So when we're shopping, you know, in these Chinese stores, Asian stores, Arab stores, our money do not stay in our community because these individuals, these mom and pops, quote unquote, they take the funds that we're contributing to their business or investing in their business. They're taking that money outside our community and investing it into their own communities and to their own family. That's why the money is not circulating in our community. And so in some cases, mom and pop shops also refers to inexperienced investors. Unfortunately, a lot of these mom and pop shops and are not sophisticated when it comes to business. They're not sophisticated when it comes to market research. They're not sophisticated when it comes to identifying trends on, you know, where's the market's going to be 5-10 years from now. So it's kind of difficult for them to pivot and make changes to their business model to that nature. So all that, you know, sums up what it's talking about inexperienced investors. Um, when it comes to sole proprietorships, many of us fall in this category. Why? Because it's easy. You know, it's easy. You really don't have to incorporate. You can just go ahead and start selling shoes out your car. You can start going ahead and sell your conch salad and make money, and you become a sole proprietorship. And that's why a lot of you guys, you know, when uh, the COVID relief fund, when they was giving out loans for your business, a lot of you guys, in the beginning, at least in the beginning, couldn't really get the funding, the proper funding, because the business wasn't incorporated. You was a sole proprietorship. You was running everything out of your personal accounts. And in some cases, you may start off like that. Mostly everyone will start off as a sole proprietor just to test the market, to make sure, you know, there's something out there for it. But many times people stay in that sole proprietorship and continue to operate like that. And that's really not the proper way to actually run a business. So when you're talking about sole proprietorship, it's an unincorporated business. You don't have no protection. There's no distinction between you and your business. In most cases, you know, you can operate under your name, or you can do what's called a DBA. And just so you know, even when you have an NDA, a DBA, that doesn't necessarily means that your business is protected. You're still not protected if you don't have an LLC or a corporation. Which leads to the part 3. It remains personally liable for all the business debts. So working as a sole proprietor, If you get sued, all your personal assets is at stake because there's no corporate veil around your business model. Also, you cannot raise capital by selling interest in the business. So if you're a sole proprietorship and you need to raise capital from investors, nobody's going to invest in you because you don't have that corporate protection. So that's why it's like being a sole proprietor is maybe good to start off with. But if you're planning on actually setting up a business and running an actual real business, you always want to graduate and get an LLC or a corporation. Scalable business. This depends on the scalable business model that will increase profits while avoiding cost increases. A lot of us are not familiar with a scalable business model, and a lot of times we get this confused with growth. So there's a difference between the growth model and the scale model. So when you talk about growth, growth means adding revenue at the same pace you are adding resources. And the scaling means you're adding revenue, same thing as growth, at a much greater rate than its cost. So a perfect example, let's say, what's a good example? For example, like if I'm selling clothes, right? Selling t-shirts, growth model is I'm going to buy more inventory. That's the resources. I'm adding more resources because I want to sell more t-shirts. So I want to grow my t-shirt company by buying more t-shirts. So that's growth. Scaling is, you know what? Instead of having 100 t-shirts in my inventory, I'm going to go ahead and go to the e-commerce platform and may do a print on demand where I don't have to hold inventory, but I'm still able to sell the same amount of shirts I would have sold if I had inventory. What that does is that help eliminate uh, holding up your assets, your money in inventory, where you don't have to tie up your money because sometimes you see stores, if you ever see their back rooms, even when it comes to retail or grocery stores or like Target, Walmart, that back room is what's called inventory. It's assets. It's probably, let's just say, you can have up to $15,000 worth of assets and inventory in your back office. But a lot of times it's not as liquid. You can't just say, I got $15,000 worth and I'm going to turn it to cash. You have to sell it first. And sometimes you can't even sell it. So that 15,000 in assets is tied up to your inventory, which can also hinder your growth if you're not selling, which is part of the reason why some companies end up selling some of these things at a discount because they have to get it off the shelf. So the t-shirt maybe, or the item or whatever it may be worth $100 at the time, but as long as it's sit there, it can lose value to the point where now you have to sell it for $50 or $45 just to get it off your inventory. So the whole purpose of scalability is being able to scale your company, but minimizing the cost where it don't cost you as much to do things. And that's the big difference between both of them. So again, when you're talking about scalable businesses, leaders in this position need to shift from working in their company to working on their company. And this is big, and you will understand this again for part 2 when I talk about exit strategy, because a lot of times, especially during my days of consulting, working with startups and small businesses, a lot of times business owners can't work or see issues in their business, or don't even know how to pivot or make changes to their business because they're so busy working in their business, and it's hard for them to work on their business. So when you talk about scalability, you need to be able to sit back and look at your business and say, okay, how can I scale my company? But if you're working day-to-day operations, it's hard for you to actually sit back and do it. I mean, it's not impossible, but it's just difficult. Example of scalability is in the tech space. A lot of these tech companies are considered scalable companies because they don't really hold no inventory. For example of scalability is online courses, for example. Growth is I can hold multiple seminars every week. I could start off doing once a week teaching seminars. Growth is now, instead of me doing once a week, now I'm doing 4 times a week. That's growth. But guess what? It requires my time to be there 4 times a week. Scalability is, instead of me being in, somewhere 4 different times throughout the week, I just create an online course. Now I create an online course, which is a one-time thing, and now it's just bringing in passive income. Now I'm scaling my company because now I'm maximizing my time. I'm monetizing my time where I don't have to be somewhere, 4 different times, and I could just create an online course and make my money multiple times without me even doing anything. So that's the difference. So as I explained before, you have the minimum, which is no physical inventory, and a software as a service SaaS model of producing goods and services. Another way is, as we see now, is online banking. With online banking, it kind of lowered the cost because a lot of these online banks don't have to worry about the brick and mortar buildings. They still have to pay, mortgages, taxes on the buildings, maintenance, upkeep of the building. And, growth is, I have a Wells Fargo in Miami, but now I'm going to grow and expand and host another Wells Fargo in Atlanta. That's growing, but that's also adding more resources and things to that nature. So instead of me growing in that capacity of having multiple franchises, guess what? I'm going to take it to online banking. Now I can create an online banking where I don't need a physical place. And now I just cut down my costs, but now I'm still able to scale my business through online banking. So those are the difference between growth and having a scalable company. Last but not least, we have acquisitions. This is something that's really overlooked when it comes to the minority Black communities. This is where all the deals happen. We hear it all the time with Facebook, Uber, Lyft, Berkshire Hathaway with Warren Buffett. These are the things that these individuals are doing on a daily basis. Like every day you hear somebody buying another company, somebody selling the company, this company merging, this happening, this happening. We hear that all the time. And a lot of times we don't even understand what the world is going on. And that's really what it is. It's really called mergers and acquisitions. And this is where the big money is being made. And this is where, entrepreneurs build businesses not to pass on to their children down the road, but to sell for a profit, or instead of starting a business, they buy one. Again, this is going to make sense for part 2. So in some cases, we all know about starting a business, but many of us don't know about buying a business. So instead of me actually starting a retail spot, or starting a lawn service, or starting a construction company, I just buy one. Why? Because if I buy a company, number one, it's already built. Number two, it already have clientele. Number three, it already have revenue. So the moment I buy that company, I'm making, depending on what type of business you buy, I'm making profit day one. So it's like you kind of cut the learning curve of starting a business and just go ahead and buy businesses that's already bringing in revenue, that's already established, that you could just go ahead and just buy that company. Even when it comes to restaurants, instead of you starting a restaurant, you can buy a restaurant. And you'd be surprised, there are business owners that have these businesses that may be tired, that may be looking for a way out and don't know how to go about it. And here you come along and say, you know what? I'll buy your company from you. I'll take over. And you'd be surprised how many business owners will sell a company, because in most cases, some people are willing to sell a business because that's their exit strategy. When I go over this part 2, it's going to make so much sense. But you have some individuals that actually start businesses just to sell it for a profit. Think of it like real estate. Many people buy houses, they renovate it, and do what? Sell it. People do that with businesses. They buy a business or they start a business, scale it to the point where they're not working in it, make it attractive, and then sell it for a multiple, which again, all this terminology stuff will be explained for the Sundays to come. So when you're talking about acquisition business examples, an acquisition is when one company purchases most or all of another's company shares to gain control of that company. The sole objective of growth through acquisition strategy is to gain market share, acquire greater resource, and ensure business expansion. So it's the same as some people may buy their competitors, or let's just say, for example, let's say, for example, let me just use us for example. Crowd Wall Street, one of our goals and what we're trying to do, or what we're going to do, hopefully in 2021, is we're going to perform our first acquisition, right? So our first acquisition is going to be a media company, right? So instead of me buying a media company, like me and my team just start, forming our own media company, we're going to go ahead and buy a media company. Why? Because number one, it's already established. Number two, they already have clientele. Number three, they already have sales reps that's already doing the job. Number four, they already bringing in revenue. So now all we have to do is buy that company, bolt that on to Crowd Wall Street, and voila, we have our own media company. We haven't started from scratch or anything like that. And then on top of that, like I said, it's already bringing in revenue. So the moment we sign the paper, that revenue is now redirected to our company. Now we're making profit day one. Now we already have clientele. We have clients day one. So that's the difference between, growth through acquisitions. So again, this is just an overview. You continue to get on these lives. We're going to educate you guys more and more on this, because the idea is we want to really change the way we think about business and start thinking of business on a higher level versus just being a mom and pop shop or a sole proprietorship, or just plain, or, basically, yeah, that's what it is, sole proprietorship. Think that concludes this presentation. I wasn't, long. We did about 30-45 minutes. Again, you can follow us on Instagram, Crowd Wall Street, Facebook, same. Even we have a page on LinkedIn, Crowd Wall Street. Make sure you join the Facebook group. Let me see if I can get this off. Boom. So make sure you join the Facebook group, Crowd Wall Street group on Facebook. If you have any questions, if I didn't answer it, I will answer it later in the comments. But I appreciate you guys chiming in. Make sure you share this video. Again, I'm going to make a part 2 to talk about exit strategy. And once I explain that, everything that I just went over today will make sense, because once you understand your foundation, you understand your structure, it will better help you prepare an exit strategy. Think about it like this before I go. Many of us have jobs, right? We work a job with the end game, and our exit strategy of our job is to do what? Retire, right? So we work 30, 40 years at a job for our exit strategy to be retirement. Then upon retirement, we get, our 401k or whatever that may be, where now we have to live off of that money for the rest of our life. Same thing with business. The problem is, when many of us start businesses, we're not thinking of an exit strategy. A lot of times we think that we're getting into business and we're going to work the business forever. At some point, we got to stop. You get what I'm saying? We got to stop. And the only way you know what your exit strategy is to understand where you fall at in the categories that I just explained to you. If you're a lifestyle business, you have to have an exit strategy for that. If you're in a scalable business, you got to have an exit strategy for that. If you're a mom and pop shop, you're a scalable, or you pursuing acquisitions, you got to have an exit strategy. If you do it with a job, with a 401k, you have to do it with a business. So when I go over exit strategy next week, Sunday, it will all make sense. And when you understand the two, it will help you to proper manage your business. It will help you to proper plan your business, especially for those who have families or things of that nature. All of this plays a part in starting a business or buying a business. So I hope you enjoyed this presentation. I hope I educated you guys. I hope you got some value out of it. Again, please share this video. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram, Crowd Wall Street. See you guys Wednesday for another podcast on Crowd Wall Street Entrepreneurs. Again, if you haven't seen previous videos, check out our YouTube channel, Crowd Wall Street Entrepreneurs on our YouTube channel. You can catch up on the videos. This live will also be on YouTube as well. So again, I appreciate the time. See you guys Wednesday.